Greetings, friends from Accokeek, Maryland, right outside Washington, D.C. It's Jerry White, ED of URI, and it is June 2nd, 2024. And I apologize for being a couple days late because I had COVID. So I wanted to do the May report, but I was slammed. And this is my first day outside, and I'm feeling so much better. So let's get to business and go over the highlights of May. Bear with me. There we go. All right, I hope you can see that okay. We have plenty to discuss. Pardon me if I speak too fast. You can pause and slow down anytime you want. All right, the big highlight for my month personally was my first trip to Indonesia. We went on a regional visit to Jakarta, myself, Maria Crespo, and Sheetal Vaidya, and we had an in-gathering of CCs, 20 CC members from 7 countries, 3 of the regional trustees. Thank you, Abel, Bitmao, and Brother Stephen for making the trips, and 4 regional staff, and it was fantastic. Our purpose was to start to give some extra love to CPAC, the regional network, to revitalize and seed new growth in 2024. And I think we were successful. So some of the affirmations from coming out of the meetings was understanding this need for more training on violence prevention. We had great participation of women and youth, equitable and active. And we all recognize the need to deepen the CPAC identity and understanding of the subregions, the islands, the challenges with time differences and the zones, and really invite deeper engagement in the strategy development process. So CPAC is going to grow and connect the dots. One of the ironies was that we, as URI, had in 2021, I believe, in Bali, Indonesia, an in-gathering for the whole organization. And I think Abraham and others from India like went back and exported to India and started now have over 300 CCs. And Indonesia, unfortunately, only has one CC called 1000 Abrahamic Circles. They started a few years back before COVID, and they proved a great partner and really proactive host for us. So I want to thank and do a shout out to them. And we're seeing that there's huge potential in growing in Indonesia as the world's most populous Muslim country. It is critical, and there's a high interest by youth, even in learning the health approach and other aspects of URI. So super excited for the possibilities for prioritizing Indonesia and Malaysia among other countries as we go forward in the coming months. There were 2 particular partnerships that stood out with great potential. One was Dr. Elisa Wahid, thanks to the introduction by Maria Crespo. They had met at the Vatican with Pope Francis as part of the same women's network of faith leaders. And she runs probably the largest, ulama or large Muslim group in the United States. She was the daughter of a former president of Indonesia and very popular, and is working in grassroots across the country. And also Nani Zulminarni, she is the network director for Ashoka in the region. And she also is a women's rights leader for the world and all of Asia, having been in Beijing originally back in the day, and now supporting over 20,000 rural widows and divorced women in more than 800 savings and loan cooperatives in 495 villages in Indonesia. So talk about grassroots. Both of these women would make great advisors, either regionally or for the SAC or future board members. They are fantastic, and we learned a great deal from them, willing to help us out. All right, we're going to have timely follow-up, of course, and we're clarifying the roles and responsibilities of the RLT. They hadn't been meeting as often as other RLTs, so just discussing the possibility of growing with the next generation of leadership and how to increase the communication and collaboration between the countries and the subregions. You'll recognize many faces here, I hope, old friends. Really impressed also with the new crowd I met coming from Vietnam and Myanmar. These are countries that are not so simple in terms of doing interfaith work, but the young people are quite adamant and courageous in joining our ranks and building community. In the Philippines, I wasn't able to join Maria and Sheetal, but they visited CCs in Cebu and Manila. And some of the learnings thanks to our true trustees in the Philippines, Abel and Brother Stephen, but also our coordinator, Musa, really critical their work that's been done there over the years in Mindanao. So we've had a long-term presence and impact there. Their partnerships extend into the public sector as well with the mayor and different commissions of the city. But they also believe we need to deepen our interfaith relationships and rebuild some of the lost ones in the Philippines in the coming year. On another note, thinking globally and zooming out a bit, in terms of 2024, Maria Crespo pulled together a little summary snapshot of having about 20 total approved CCs so far up until June, and then 16 in the engagement process, which is a new process of 3 months working and getting to know our pending CCs. So that's 36 new CCs this year. And compared to the 25 last year, which was also growth, we're up 44%. And so the regional increases are led by Asia, with the highest level of growth, followed by Africa and Latin America, and then less, but followed by the other four. North America has not had any CC growth this far in 2024, but hopefully we'll be changing that soon. So let's all focus on growth and our impact for URI, not only in the next 24 months, but the next 25 years. All right, the Impact Strategies team is finally all together starting in May. So Angie on the left, welcome. She's already hosted our visit, a regional visit, and done a youth workshop in Jakarta. She also helped with the regional CC survey report, all in her first month. So a great asset based in Jakarta. Wanda Holzman in Tel Aviv, but from Argentina. She helped co-design and facilitated an introduction workshop and completed also a CC survey report. So these two combined are really wonderful. And if you recall, we had Emerson James previously in this position, but by dividing it up and putting into 2 different countries, it basically is the same in the budget. So we're glad for that. Sarah Oliver, Lauren Van Ham, and Ruben Shank continue day to day doing so much work that sometimes I'm tempted to tell them to slow down, that I'm not even caught up in my homework and learning at URI. But we had 2 more introductory trainings completed, as well as an alpha testing of our new online platform. And we're continuing with intergenerational calls, impact assessment of the CCs in the Great Lakes and a survey, as well as the stuff developed for the history and background for the strategy working team that Ruben is leading with Barbara and Poulin. So that is a lot of work. Thank you, Angie, Lauren, Ruben, Sarah, and Wanda, and all other people on the team. Looking back, and not to be outdone, the Violence and Prevention and Partnership team with Karen Volker. We had a May 9th Indigenous webinar done with over 500 viewers from 26 countries and 3 URI panelists. And on May 30th, also had a new introduction to violence prevention attended by more than 50 people interested in the health approach. And looking forward, we, as a heads up, in July, we're having an Indigenous gathering in Honduras. And June 9th, Ravi and the team in Sri Lanka are holding the first of their trainings on the health approach of violence prevention after having met the team and completed the training in February in Kolkata, India. Go team. Also in the theme of growth and regeneration, the Senior Advisory Council has 4 new nominees that participated on our May 15th meeting. Thanks, Bill Swing, but also to Biff, who helped with the nomination process, and Diana with onboarding. Lee Jo Chaco is a former submarine commander and summited Mount Everest. I think that's a first for URI. David Mast is based in Tel Aviv and also San Francisco. He's a recent convert to Judaism, so quite interfaith, and has a background in finance and interior design. The last couple of years, he's already been helping out at Circles of Light and has become a supporter of URI. Steve Miller is one of the up-and-coming, national U.S. Black Christian leaders. He's an Ashoka Fellow as well, and has advised us on how to reach out to churches across America and get them interested in URI. And Roger Nozaki, last but not least, is based in Boston in the Providence area, Japanese-American, PhD in education with lots of experience to share in philanthropy and the region of Asia. So welcome aboard, Roger, Steve, David, and Lijo, to be approved by the GC as proposed by SAC. Thanks, Bill, for your leadership. And I know it looks like there are 4 men this round, but this summer we have 4 women that we would like to nominate going forward, who are equally exciting. So we are growing the SAC and getting people to help us on regional advice, among other things. And Circles of Light, you hear about it every week. We are having Regina Bell and Peabo Bryson. You remember they were the Grammy Award winners who did the soundtrack for Aladdin. You know that song, A Whole New World, A New Horizon. Okay, I don't sing professionally nor dance, but we're going to have an amazing event within the Bay Area with supporters and friends. So all hands on deck. If there's any last people you're thinking of, distant relatives in San Francisco, and you want to introduce them to URI, we even are sponsored. Some people have bought sponsored tickets, so we can make them available at discount or free rates for students and friends. We want to have a great celebration this month. Can you believe it? The 25th anniversary of URI. More to come. Next month, we'll see you more. Pamela's been busy on the financial audit. We'll hear more about that next month when they wrap it up. And the strategic development process ongoing. Tom, Mary, and all the teams, thank you for the hard work. And a global council meeting coming up June 13th. Don't forget, we'll be hearing from Preeta Bansal, our chair, and learning more. So with that, I'll stop the share. Hope you all are well, and I'll be signing off from here. Ciao.